Hey,
Girl, it took us forever to get on screen.
yes, it did. Trying,
Welcome.
trying to copy the link.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
just pop
y'all.
in. Hey y'all, it's ORNOT Podcast. We are back in action. I know you guys have missed us drastically, but my sister gave me a call and said some stuff was happening on the net, so we was gonna
Yes,
have to arise. So here we are.
here
Don't
we
worry about
are.
the link. Let's just get going. Don't worry about the link, girl.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about what everyone has been talking about, which is Reesa Teesa.
Reesa Teesa. I
So
wonder what
much.
is her name? Is her name
I think
Reesa?
her name is Reesa. It
Is
may
her last
be,
name
or
Teesa?
maybe her first name is Teesa. I don't know.
Okay.
But I
She
have
probably don't
notes.
know yet. I tried to find her on Instagram. She has like 9 million accounts.
Oh, really?
There's so many different accounts people made like in honor of Reesa Teesa. Yeah. So I couldn't pick. I don't know which one was the real one. I don't think she's verified just yet. This all just happened,
Oh,
February 5th or something like that. So
I can't even put this on my page
why?
because I don't know how.
Nothing's working.
Nope, nothing's
Nothing's
working.
working.
So if you're here, if you could um, share with a friend, share on your Facebook page or wherever, that would be helpful because I cannot figure out how to do it on mine.
And we're a little
But
delayed
anyway,
today because we had some technical difficulties because this is live. This is live in action. We don't record this. And we don't do that because we like to have conversations with our people. So definitely share. We apologize for the lateness. But guess what? It's our show, so we can do that. So good news.
yes. So for those that are here, if you've seen the Reesa Teesa situation, drop a heart in the comments if you can. If you're driving and watching or listening, don't do that. We'll just continue.
Correct.
So I'm going to give a brief synopsis of what went down with Reesa Teesa. And here we go. She is just a regular girl like you and I. She met a guy on a dating app. I don't know. I can't remember what dating app it was, possibly Hinge or Facebook dating. It's Facebook dating, I think. Within a few weeks, she moves this man into her house. But we have to remember that it's COVID time, so they're quarantining. So I think that kind of sped up the relationship.
Really?
Yes,
I don't
you don't
agree.
think so?
No, we can unpack that in a minute. Go right ahead.
Okay. Just trying to do this very quickly. She ends up getting pregnant within months. She has a miscarriage. It's a tragic situation. They tell her to pass the baby, like pass it yourself. And the baby, like all the stuff doesn't come out. So she has to end up doing a DNC. I think that's what it's called. She goes to the hospital, does the surgery. He doesn't show up because he's a VP of a condiment company here in Atlanta. I still haven't found that company. But apparently he's a VP. He had a very important meeting and he wasn't able to make it. Fast forward, they're looking for a house. He can't provide proof of funds. He then eventually provides proof of funds. And she then looks for a new job. He laughs at her for getting a new job. It's a lot of, I think that was a little bit of gaslighting there. He goes to work every day from 6 a.m. to 4:30 or 4 o'clock. He spends almost an hour on the phone with his brother. Just remember these things, guys. He talks to his brother on the phone for an hour.
John.
Hmm?
John.
Is his name John, the brother?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he talks to John on the phone every day. They look for a house 3 different times, 3 different occasions. So they've had 3 different realtors, 2 Scots and one, I can't remember what her name is, one lady. All here in Atlanta. She currently lives in Riverdale during this story. During this Part 50
And
series,
us people who don't live in Atlanta don't know nothing about Riverdale, so we don't understand why she continues to bring that up. Go
so
ahead.
I will give you a brief synopsis. Riverdale is not somewhere you want to raise your child, apparently. Not what I didn't say it. She said it. And for those who have traveled to Atlanta, it's near the airport, I believe. Okay. Long story short, he ends up being a scam artist, guys. Everything he's told her is a lie. The brother on the phone, there's no brother on the phone. He's literally just talking to someone like this, and she's just hearing the conversation from the other room. He said he played arena ball. That was a lie. He said he went to San Diego State. That was a lie. She finds all these lies. She ends up kicking him out finally on his birthday, which is June 17th. Now, when she said June 17th, I knew then that that's where the problem began.
Ooh.
Because he is a Gemini. And that's some stuff. When you a Gemini, I dated a Gemini once and I made him cry. I made him cry. Never again.
You made him cry?
Made him cry. He was a Gemini, a very short person. He was a Gemini. He was okay.
Just leave it like that.
And so, anyway, long story short, long story long, basically, to this day, we have a new update. The brother has called Reesa Teesa and asked her to clear up some things. He said for her to clear up the fact that he can confirm that Legion is the man's name. Legion or Jerome. Allegedly, because I don't know, allegedly has bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. So with that said, to me, that makes total sense now. What do you think?
So where do I weigh in the beginning or
the end and the middle? It's a mess. It's 50-part series, y'all. We don't know where to start.
Well, first of all, hello to the cast, or not podcast. We have a cast. That's why we do this. We do this live because we like to talk to our people. So hello to those out there. The Anissa, Lawanda. Hey y'all. Lawanda said all Gemini are not bad. I've never experienced a Gemini, so I can't even go there. But apparently, if you made him cry, he apparently is pretty bad. I don't think that COVID had anything to do with this. So do you think that if they weren't locked up, as we were told not to leave their homes, right, do you really truly believe that she still wouldn't have moved him into her home?
Not within a few weeks.
So this is where we're going to play a little game. We got enough people in here to answer the question. So it's enough people. We should at least have 6 responses at least. Okay. If you met a man, never late, never too late, Anita Brown. If you met a man and the first date, he buys you a new tire, I think that there are parts that we're missing out in this story.
Yeah, there are parts.
First meets him on a dating app. So I don't know if anyone's ever utilized a dating app. If you have, please put it in the comments. So she meets him at a dating app. And then, people say that can be a little bit sketch. I think wherever you can find love is your business. So you meet him on a dating app. You guys plan to go out to eat. Cheesecake Factory. I prefer, I don't mind Cheesecake Factory. I know that's not a place that people like to go anymore.
Love the Cheesecake Factory over here.
Yeah, shrimp and the shrimp and
avocado egg rolls.
Hello. So they meet. They don't get to meet because she has a car. She has an incident with her tire. So now she calls him. This is day one.
She does say that she feels like that was a God trying to stop her from going.
Oh, well, now I didn't think about that. But at the same time, is that true? Because at the same time, this man goes to her, takes her to the tire place, puts a new tire on her vehicle. Mm-hmm. A man that does not know her.
Right.
Nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. The man that does not know her puts a new tire on her vehicle, and then they continue on with life. And then when they get, quarantined together, he pays all the bills. So any women in the comments, if you met a man and he pays all your bills, would that be a red flag?
Yes.
You can answer it. That's a red flag too.
Hold on. Yeah, there is some red flags here. So first,
it's branding.
Yes. So I think the first thing is dating online is scary. I dated online. I lucked out the second time around. The first time around, he was an Atlanta scammer. And he love bombed me, I believe.
I think you're using this word scammer as a very wide terminology.
No, I'm not. Anybody who pretends that they are something that they're not is a scammer. That is a scam artist. And I think that all that stuff he did was love bombing.
So I think I need put a heart or a
That's what you
yay.
got to do because they ain't
Yes.
going to answer.
Put a yay if you would have moved forward with this man with the information we've provided in the beginning. Put
Right.
a nay if you would not have. This is a man who has fixed your vehicle. He has basically said, like, I'm willing to step in and do what you need me to do. And there was a conversation had. I think this is important to talk about. But first, Anita says, while at first I would say, hell no, that nigga got money. I can keep my own money. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't think that. So I think that we first need to preface the situation by saying that at some point they had a conversation.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've had this conversation. I've had a similar conversation. Personally, it didn't work out, but the conversation of intention when you're dating and you have the conversation, like, what are your intentions?
Right.
So she said they had a conversation where his intentions were basically they want to get married. They're dating to get married. So this was an early conversation that was probably had at the Cheesecake Factory. And from there, everything they did was with the intention that they were going to be together forever.
I don't really know. When I think of that conversation, yes, there you are move forward, but not move in. I agree.
COVID or
I think
no COVID.
so. You think that the conversation should have never been had?
I think that I think she jumped the gun. The conversation should be had, but just because he says he wants to get married doesn't mean that he needs to move in with you.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't think that us coughing and having fevers and shutting down the world should mean that they should move in together. That was her.
They were quarantining. I think you're missing that. Don't you remember when people were like, okay, we're all going to be together. There's only going to be a certain group of people that we're going to hang out with. This is going to be our little bubble, our circle. Then it's okay. I think that was why they moved in together like that.
Okay, so would y'all quarantine with the man y'all are dating? I need those responses too. Do you quarantine with the man you're dating? So you're dating this man, you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know him, but
For
the
how
world
long
is
have you been dating? How long have you been dating?
Well, if this is the case with Reesa Teesa, they were only dating for 2 months.
They were dating for 2 months when he moved in?
I think it was 1 or 2, was it?
Okay. So, that was a red flag. He needed somewhere to stay. He did have a place, though. Let me make that clear. He had a studio apartment. And the reason why he was in that studio apartment was because he was preparing to buy a home. Now, remember that, because he's a VP at a condiment company here in Atlanta. So he was trying to save his money.
So about that, do we believe that any of that is to be true?
I don't think there's a condiment company here in Atlanta. That's the first thing.
You look.
I did. And I Googled the condiment companies in Atlanta, and on Google, it came up Reesa Teesa. That's all. No condiments company came up. So I'm not sure about that. That's not true. None of this is true. We don't have to guess that. None of that's true.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just think that initially I thought first of all, my sister here is the one that turned me on to all of this. She dropped in my called me and was like, you have to do this. And then after that, everyone else fell in place. My line sisters, my other friends. I just caught my other homegirl up to it today. And initially I'm thinking this is a mess. It's 52 parts. What does she have to do with herself? But I do think that the reason why we're having the show, first of all, is not to be messy. But
I love Reesa Teesa. I think she has a great personality.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm just saying I think that this shows us a lot about women in today.
Okay, let's dive into that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what the foundation of this was, the reason why I was willing to do it. I'm like, yes, let's definitely do it because I don't know. You go first. I don't.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're doing great.
I personally think it shows a level of desperation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it a level of desperation? Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I would like to take it from another perspective of extending a little grace and having from more of an empathetic perspective. I love Jessie Wu. If anybody knows who she is, she's this gorgeous Haitian Canadian girl, and she has her own YouTube. She said it the best, I think. She said that was one kind act that made her just basically fall for him, made her, not see the red flags.
Of
And
course.
yeah, and I think in Bible study, I think I mentioned in Bible study yesterday that it was because she had never been cared for.
Correct.
She didn't know what it was like. She
Absolutely.
never
We're on
experienced that. So she was
Mhm.
able to overlook a lot of things. So I feel like everyone that's on TikTok and Instagram that's like, Reesa Teesa stupid. Girl, you've been there too.
Well, no, hold on. I won't say the desperation wasn't all of us. I'm not saying that. I think it's a great reflection of where we are as a culture, as a whole, because I think everyone has been Reesa Teesa at some point of that story. So, like how she said, I'm a single woman who met a nice man who wanted to take care of me. Why would I leave?
Why would you
Sure,
leave?
I'm sure there's a married woman up here right now who would want a man to take care of her. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel that it was a extreme, and then like the part, like we didn't talk about this, but the part about like him buying the house, like he
Of
painted
course.
this narrative
Yeah.
that he was going to make her life. She, like you said, she was living in a place that wasn't as great. They're looking at $400,000-$500,000 homes,
They had
and
a
she
they had a
was
loan. There was a loan, a mortgage, I guess loan, whatever you call it, when you get the paper that says how much you can spend. The amount was 750, I think, or 700.
Ooh,
And he also got that image from Google. Eventually, she did a Google reverse image search. She found the receipt from the BMW dealership. She found the receipt. She found the documents from Chase Bank. All of these things were right on Google. He just printed them.
Anita makes a great point. Is it desperation, or is it just thinking that a man is being a man by doing what he's supposed to do? By
Exactly,
caring.
Anita. I agree. So for me, these people that's like, girl, these are red flags. There were some red flags, but also when you're dating someone, they do sell you a dream.
Well,
Everybody
you're
sells a
supposed
dream.
to. You're
Exactly.
supposed to. That's in the beginning, right? You're
Exactly.
supposed to sell a dream.
But the
It's like
hope
a
is
job. Look,
the
it's like a job.
it is.
You go to
The hope is that they eventually show you. So if I sit here and I'm like, I like to take care of my man, you can't keep saying that after 6 months and you're not taking care of your man. Now
true,
you're a scam
true,
artist.
true. It's just like it's like going to a job. You get dressed up for your job interview, right? Whether it is you want to make sure that you're spiffy for the boss or for whoever you're going, you give them all you got. These are my skills. These are my qualifications. When I get to the job and I'm trained, I'm going to give you the best of me.
Yeah.
And that's what's supposed to happen, right? I don't think. I just think the part that started to become desperation was the part when I saw her stay.
Well,
I
she
can't speak on
stayed,
this
but
part.
remember she said she saw the red flags, but her bills were still getting paid.
I know. That's the part that always gets me hung up on the story. Like I'll say, like, girl, why in the I remember watching it, like, what in the world? Why have you not left yet? But I'm thinking, like, she has all her bills are paid. For her to leave, she was gonna have to get herself together.
Exactly, which is why she ends up getting another job, because that job wasn't paying enough.
Yeah.
With I don't know if it was with the city, but if it was with the city, we know they're not paying enough. I've been there. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Would you not stick around for I've seen people stick around for less. People have been beaten and stayed in their position and stayed in that house. We mad at Reesa Teesa because she got a free check. She got some free bills, she got a house over her head and all the things. But women have stayed for less.
And I do think what Anissa said, time is important. I think that as women, we have a tendency to get lost in the transit of love and wanting to be loved. So we tend to want to rush it because we want to be loved. It feels good. I haven't been loved. Everybody that I've dealt with is trash. So you get this person who seems like they're ready and willing. So you go for it. Move in. Come on, move in. You gonna pay my bills? Okay. But I think there was different parts. She didn't know this man, right? She didn't know this man.
But
That's the reality.
you don't
No,
know the
you don't
people
know no
you're
bad.
dating.
Mm-mm.
You don't
I
know the
get
people
it.
you're dating.
What do you think? 6 months, 2 years? When do you think somebody knows somebody?
I don't know. I don't think you ever fully get to know anyone completely because people are ever evolving all the time. I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, I know that person from left to right. Maybe you do, but I mean, I evolved from last year from 6 months ago. My
Anita,
desires now are not my desires I had last year.
true. Anita says, I know married women who stay in a marriage and they're miserable and they stay because they didn't know how to make it if they leave.
Exactly. And she
So
didn't
I
have
think
no
that's big.
kids. She didn't have no money. She's staying in Riverdale. Like,
So
sis struggling.
there's the part that irritated me the most, which I think if it was somebody else, it could have looked different. Or what would you have done? The part where she had what was it, the DNC? Is that the
Yeah, I
correct
think that's what it's
terminology?
called.
So she went to go get the DNC. She was pregnant, and they told her she was going to have to, get rid of the baby. And that what happened, I think. And
She
so,
tried to do it with the pill, but
oh, that's
usually
right.
that's happened to multiple people. You try to do it with the pill and all of it doesn't leave you. Then you have to get the
True,
DNC to get the rest out.
true, true, true. So, I guess she goes to get it done. He doesn't come and get her.
Yes, his executive assistant, which comes with the position of a VP, says that he's in a very important meeting. So then she says, well, let me
And
give you some
hold on, the executive
backstory.
assistant is texting him. Let's get it right.
Yes,
He's responding to her in text. How do we know that's not him?
it is him because there's no executive assistant because there's no job. And then he says that the job is in Duluth, and the hospital probably was Emory or Grady, whatever. He talking about something. It took him about 4 or 5 hours to get down. Sir, it does not take 4 or 5 hours to get from Duluth to downtown Atlanta.
So in this situation, I wonder how this would have looked different if it was someone else. How would you have handled it?
Me?
Yes.
I probably would be in jail. Because when she eventually, y'all, she does flip.
And look, there's a part in the 50-42 part 38 where he calls someone, his aunt or something, and the aunt is like, I think she's going to kill you.
Exactly.
I think you need to leave because he refused to leave. She asked him to
He
leave
was
her
because
home.
he was sick, supposedly.
Yeah, that's another part. He was sick. Supposedly had started with a knee issue, I think, and then he just started not doing anything. And the part that just threw me over the edge is when she realized that the Gatorade bottles didn't have Gatorade in it; they had pee. He wasn't even able to get up to use the restroom, and
Right.
she snapped.
She snapped.
In
And
which
that would have been me. I would have snapped and I would have probably ended up in jail. And I think Lawanda poses a very good question. Because I think that I don't know how old Reesa Teesa is. So Lawanda said, who said that there has to be a time? Let's just play devil's advocate here. Is there a rule about how long it should be between dating, engagement, and marriages?
no,
So I think there's cultural norms, there's societal norms,
true.
there's age when you're aging, you don't have the time to wait for years to be engaged.
True.
And I think Reesa Teesa possibly maybe between my age and my sister's age. And possibly she said, I need to speed this thing up.
But damn, I guess it's just the risk you take.
Some people, like I have a friend who said has cousins who have met on a dating website and married within months. And they're still happily married.
Well, I think it also has to do with the person. It's all about what you're willing to put up with, the situation, how flexible you are. If you're not a flexible individual and you want someone to just come into your life and you want them to march to your drum, it may not work. Does that make sense?
What may not work?
A fast track relationship.
Oh, right.
I'm a very namaste girl over here. It's not much. I'm not gonna let you mess with my peace. And so if I feel like you are, like, I'm this is just putting it out there. I'm just gonna silence you. I'm as Anissa will tell you, I will not block you. That's a personal thing, but I will not deal with it. Whereas the next person may cause a lot of ruckus, like, you're dealing with me, da 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 da. So I think it depends on the person whether or not can fast track.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
can't.
I mean, that's any situation. I think that sometimes relationships, depending on the situation, a relationship can be accelerated quickly. It could be a crisis that you both experience, trauma bonding.
True.
I've experienced that with
True.
friends.
I
Some of my friends are my closest friends because of a situation we've dealt with. So my best friend is still my best friend because she's been there from the beginning of when there was some mess.
Right. I have a relationship that's a trauma bonding relationship.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not the greatest way to start a relationship, but unfortunately, when stuff does happen, it accelerates your closeness.
It
It
does.
accelerates how much you can trust that person. And I mean, the world was falling apart. People didn't know if they was going to be able to see loved ones anymore.
Which was a good way for him to get in.
Exactly. It was perfect. Everyone was vulnerable.
And I'm pretty sure he used her religion.
Yes. He said that his father was a pastor. That's a lie.
His father won't even a pastor,
Never
y'all.
even been to church.
Never been to church. But that's what people do. I'm not gonna say men, because I'm sure women do it too. But I've heard stories where men, they attack the religion piece because they know your close relationship with God.
Yes, like church girls, we love to hear that a man went to church. Or let me hear you playing some Maverick City in the back. What? I love that. Let's sing Gyra together. Like
You mean,
that's
you gotta hang out with me because you gotta go read the Bible?
right. Like
Look,
that's
he
like
texted my girlfriend.
oh,
He got to read the Bible, girl.
exactly. Some girls really they really just they're like, "Oh, he's the one after that."
Yeah.
And so I can see why he was saying all the right things.
Truth.
And
He was.
I think that I think he didn't take into consideration that she was actually going to be waiting for some of those results.
He promised cars. For those who don't know the story, he promised cars. He promised house. He had nothing to show for the things that he was promising. I think they were looking for all these expensive cars to end up with. Did she end up with a Nissan?
But she
Nothing's wrong
bought
with a Nissan.
right. And she
Yeah,
bought
nothing's wrong with
that.
Nissan. She bought that herself. But it was just all these things that was leading up to lies after lies. So the next question I would have is, do you think her 52-part story was something that she did to be therapeutic? Do you think she did it to be messy? What do you think about the fact that she spent 52 parts and more? There's more that I haven't dug into. What are your thoughts?
I think that she was doing it for therapeutic reasons. And I say this because of her history. Now, if you listen at one part between the 1 and 52, she says she has voice notes.
Yes.
And so that is a dead set giveaway that this is how she processes things, which is not far from us in general. We just don't tend to come up here and show when we get played. But Reesa Teesa did. That's what she did.
Right.
She got played and she shared it with the internet, which I think is very brave. But I don't think a lot of people were like, well, she's doing it to get money. She's not even making that money. I found out today from her update. All that money that people said she made, that's not true, because she wasn't a part of the creator fund. And then she got suspended from the creator fund because she re-uploaded videos, and that's you get suspended for that. And so now she's suspended for 30 days. So she was like, I'm not even making videos, making money off of these videos, which was never her intention, I don't think.
Anyways, yeah.
I think that she truly wanted to send a warning sound out to single women.
Yeah. So a man, I'm not going to name his name. I'm just going to read what he put. A friend of mine, posted on Facebook. And so I screenshot it because I wanted us to discuss it. He said, Legion, now Legion is the man, the man in question. Legion provided a fairy tale marriage like most women claim they want, and he still wasn't appreciated. He changed and paid for her flat tire. He paid all her bills, had her driving around in BMW and Audis. Well, he was test driving.
That's not true.
He was test driving.
Okay.
Helped her get a Nissan Altima, but that wasn't good enough for her. Had her touring nearly $1 million homes, helped her get a new higher paying job, and planned a dream vacation to London. But she kicked him out on his birthday while verbally and almost physically abusing him. She conveniently had a friend that came and changed her locks the same day, quote unquote, man. She gave all her personal belongings away and gifts he bought her. She harassed his family and friends, and she showed no empathy or sympathy for his mental health. Prayers for Legion.
Anybody that said prayers for Legion, I think you should reconsider them as a Facebook friend. I think you should probably just go ahead and unfriend him.
We've been friends since elementary.
I don't care if he was. I don't care if you came out the same womb.
The comments are quiet. No one even has anything.
The man, yes, Anita, I agree that Legion is a narcissist, and so is this man that wrote it. We keep clicking on the comment and keep going away. Yes, I agree. I think that several things he said in it is inaccurate. He did not help her get a new job. She got that job on her own, and she barely got that because she put his social security number on it. That was wrong.
His social security number was wrong, guys. He ended up being a criminal. One time he was wanted because he posed as an officer
and was frisking people, showed up at people's apartments. He's crazy. This is not a regular. This is really bad for Atlanta's reputation for dating and men.
So here's the question: does that mean stay away from the app?
Nope, because I have a great story. I feel like Marielle when I do this. I have a great story. Nope, I'm staying away from the app now because I was on the app.
Right.
And I was on Facebook.
Did they say what app it is? Did she say what app it is?
Facebook dating. I was on Facebook dating and him.
No, did she say where she met Legion?
Facebook dating.
Oh, okay.
Now Facebook dating is that pull them in is P in it. Don't do Facebook dating. If anyone is single on here, Facebook dating is not it. Now, if she had went to Hinge, she might have found a little bit higher caliber of a man.
He was on both.
He was on both. I think Anita's right. I think he had different features, and his name was different.
Yeah, she found him or somebody located him on both or something like that.
Yes.
He was a different person on Hinge.
Yeah.
So I think that the moral to the story is just be careful. I don't think that people should stay away from the dating apps. I think that that's another platform. There's busy corporate professionals. Yeah. You don't have time to go to who goes to a club. I'm not going to nobody's club. That's just not where people meet people, I don't think, nowadays. So I think that
the app isn't the problem. So you don't think that the app provided him the tools and resources? Of
course, he was already a nutcase. That ain't got nothing to do with him.
So would he considered a catfish?
Yes. This is a modern day catfish. This is catfish come to TikTok. This is MTV's catfish come. That's exactly what this is.
But not in the sense of looks. Because usually that's what people think of catfish.
What he looks like? What he look like?
He's awful.
Is there a way we can pull him up?
I could probably pull him up on my phone quicker.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you mean when you were saying not in the way of looks? What were you saying? Because it didn't have to be.
He had the right picture. He was catfishing her about all the other things.
Well, Anita makes another good point. Really, when you go out, people don't be people no more. They don't socialize when going out like before, and that's because of the world we live in. People are in their phones. People go to the bar. Oh, that's Legion?
Yes, girl. That is Legion.
I don't know, Megan. Ray said, where's Kevin Samuels when you need him? I don't know what.
Samuels is in the grave, okay? Bless his heart, rest in peace.
I don't know what Kevin would say about this. He probably would be for Legion. That's because
he can't be, because he would be saying Legion is trying to be what they call a high value man. Huh? He's not a high value man. That's what Kevin Samuels used to say. You should be a high value woman. If you were a high value woman, you should be looking for a high value man. Legion was not a high value man.
But why did she think he was?
Because he was, she said he was and I will say this, let me correct this. She didn't say she met him as a VP. She met him like he had a regular position and he got promoted to a VP. Now, something that somebody said, which I didn't like, they were like, well, why did you even think you could snag a VP?
Well, I don't like that.
Because you're like, because you're heavier. I didn't like that. Because she's a very pretty girl. Mm-hmm. And she has no reason to have not been able to snag a VP. He just happened to be a scam artist. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that
that's a great point.
Exactly. Now they said, okay, I'm not going to say that part, but I'm going to say that there are allegations that he may have something, allegedly. Mm-hmm. Allegedly. Before and after, whenever we're supposed to say that, it's alleged. We don't know.
Or that podcast did not tell y'all he had anything.
Nope. But, Atlanta is not safe.
Says the woman who lives in Atlanta.
I live in Atlanta, but I've only dated one man from here. And he moved out the country.
He did. He did. He got the hell up out of there.
He moved out the country, got a whole family and wife. And all other men have been from other states because it's not safe here.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so I do have a question. So Anita says, we kind of talked about this the other day, her body is not what the American body is. So do you think that her insecurities allowed him to come in and kind of gaslight, love bomb, and all those things?
I think her body is exactly what the American body is.
The reality, Anita is probably going to speak to it, but the reality is Anita feels that the American body is a slimmer body, a smaller body. And so therefore the woman, Reesa, she may felt like, you know what I mean? Like there's some insecurities that were there. And so that didn't help. You think about it. You got this man that then came in, you're the best thing smoking. You don't think that has anything to do with it?
I think she has insecurities. Yes. I also think that she has insecurities. She would have had insecurities, whether she was my size, your size, her size. It would be a different type of insecurity.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But I stand firm in that the American body is not the American body anymore. From my perspective, I think that the average woman is more shapely. The average woman does not weigh 115.
Oh, we got y'all fired up in the comments.
Yes. What are they saying?
Oh, all women have insecurities.
Yeah, every woman has insecurities, so every man can play into that.
And I think that the big piece of it is, as LaWanda said, she wanted to be married. Like I said, that conversation in the beginning, that intention conversation holds heavy in the dating world. What are we doing here? Because you know what starts that? The app. So the app asks you trying to have a casual relationship? You want a long-term relationship?
We're trying to cut to the chase. We like Kendra G.
So when you have this conversation with this individual, it's that intent. And he's telling you, oh, I think we could do this. And so you're sold by it. You're like, oh, the search is over. I can hang up my cape. I don't have to do this anymore. I can just be his woman. So I feel that intent conversation that they had in the beginning when they had sat down, maybe a couple of dates in, and then the world shut down, I think that was what sealed the deal for her to believe in it. I mean, he had already kind of showed who he was, right? I helped you with your car. I rushed to and unfortunately, as Anita said, that's what a man should do.
So is the remedy to not have that conversation in the beginning?
No, I think that the remedy is to continue to have the conversations. You know what I mean? Like I have very open conversations and I think that they're very helpful, but the person that I'm having conversations with is being communicative and seems to be honest, right? And I think that that's a risk that you're taking. How do you know? I think someone set it up, but you really don't know the person that you're dealing with. How do you know? There's people, testify to this, there's people married 15, 16 years and the 16th year, you like, who the hell is this?
Well, because people change.
Right. Like you said. So, I mean, it's a risk you take. It's just a risk. That intent conversation has to be had. But in this case, I feel that that's what sealed her in. because she
Yeah.
wanted to be married. She wanted to be saved. She's paying all these bills by herself. She don't have no kids.
I
She's a
don't
single.
blame her. I'm tired of paying bills by myself too. It's
Yep.
hard. Rent is going up
Yeah.
in Atlanta,
Yeah.
even in Riverdale.
Apparently she live in Riverdale. She don't live in a good place. She probably
And she
pay a
wanted
nice.
to come out here to Cobb County. If she want to come to Cobb County, she definitely need a new job, okay? Because it's way more expensive.
The moral to the story is to continue to date and still be aware. Even knowing someone for years still comes with uncertainty, and that's the truth.
That's
I mean, I think.
true.
And so I say, give this story grace. That's what I say. Be careful with what you take in when you watch this and you're reading stuff online, because the reality is it could be anybody. It could be,
A man has commented. Thank you.
she got saved and she forgot the rules to the game.
Dion Richardson, what are the rules to the game?
What?
I think I know Dion. Don't
You
I?
do. Yeah.
Dion, what are the rules to the game? Enlighten us.
I'm confused. She got saved. So what
part did she say?
Yeah, what part did she get saved at?
It sounds like she got played.
When it comes to love, it's a risk. You have to use discernment as you choose a life partner. And then when you're in love and you're with the partner, it's still a risk. Every decision that you make, you need to make the best decision that you can based off of what you can handle.
It does matter who you partner with. I agree with Tawanda. Yeah.
Well, a man like ran up in the comments and then he ran out because he probably doesn't want that heat. And I understand.
That's okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Wanda says, "Say from what, Dion?" So people don't like that comment. The women are
she
for that.
She forgot the rules to the game.
I just don't understand what.
So in the video, she mentions many times that she did not tell her friends, and I think that that's important.
Let's talk about that for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's important to talk about because in my past relationships and things that she had friends and she had family. He said he's coming. Please allow him to type it out. So Dion has a response.
Okay, we're gonna extend grace. Take your time.
He did have friends and family, and she said she really had to. She took like a whole section about talking about the fact that her friends and family were unaware.
Right.
And I think that's very important. I can speak for myself in a past relationship where I didn't tell anything. And I was down and out, y'all. It was pretty bad. And no one knew. My sister, she did not know. Or even if she knew a little, nothing from me. I didn't tell her anything. She may have seen things, she might have witnessed things, but I didn't say anything. So when you're going through something, I think it's fair to say that there's reasons why you don't tell your friends. Because if you got friends like my friends or my sister, she pulling up. Okay? My sister's pulling up. My sister is going to cause a ruckus because you are causing hell on earth to me. So if you have any type of friends, and I have friends that are in the comments, the friends that I got don't play about me. And my sister specifically, this one right here, just know that it's a whole problem. If you cause me any type of problem, I'm afraid for you at this point. So I think that that's why she didn't tell anyone. Because one, think about it, that would have been hell on earth.
And I think she also didn't tell because she was probably embarrassed. At some point, it was a snowball effect. The lies were becoming bigger.
Well, then there's that piece too. So look, there's this piece that I didn't get. As I was watching it, as it ended, as she kicked him out, she just always wanted to know what was going on with him.
Yes, because that's women. Do you not want to? You said today on the phone. So why did he lie again? What was he getting out of it? She's asking the same thing.
Yeah. So she kept like trying to figure out what was going on with him. Even after she had kicked him out, he had signed paperwork. And so as Wanda states, and she probably thought she wanted to be sure. So that's another piece. So you got to be careful before you pull that trigger. So you call your friends and say, Hey, look, man, he's doing this. He done did this. He lied. He done did this. He done did this. He don't got no family. His daddy's not a pastor. Your sister Danielle is going to never like him again.
Exactly.
Your friends are never there's no Christmases no more. It's over. That part's over. And you still be married. Tomorrow you will be married.
He don't have a chance, and you're staying.
And you're saying, now what we do? So that's why you don't tell. So let's see. The man said she got very comfortable because she was tired of taking care of herself. The man came in, sold the dream so early. The rules to the game is women vet men out. Women will see how his relationship with his family and how he handles his money and where it's coming from.
Okay, let's debunk some of these things. The first thing you said is that she got comfortable and she got tired of taking care of herself. I don't like that tone, but I'm gonna move on. Then you said, she women see how they should see. Oh, the wind is really going
Here
out here.
too. Here too. It just did it here too. That was
Ooh,
a large win, girl. Went from Virginia to Atlanta.
it's terrible.
Atlanta. Go ahead.
Atlanta. She said, he says women will see how his relationships with his family and how he handles his. So with the relationships with his family, she saw that. She saw that he
Well,
talked to
too
his
late.
brother every day.
Oh, truth.
He
True.
talked. They talked through the phone. Those things happen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so for those that don't know, he was having fake conversations. So it was like
Yes.
a straight conversation like this, and yeah, I know, right? What time you gonna be there? She didn't hear anyone, but
No, but the people would be like, he would be like, oh, John said, what's up? And she would be like, hey, John. Yes, Legion is saying. No, I think he is.
But I think Dion, she got very comfortable because she was tired of taking care of herself. First of all, taking care of yourself is everyone's job. That's your job. The whole tired of getting taken care. No, that I don't think that's the case. I think that
No.
he presented love. Let's be real. Love was presented. Yes, money was involved, but love was presented. Should she have vetted him out a little longer? I think she should have. But from what Danielle's saying,
the wind didn't come over here that time.
it was bad. From what Danielle is saying, between COVID and the way everything happened, I don't mean any harm. He took care of her car problems on day one. That's on some Lord, thank you for sending him type stuff.
Yeah.
But Dion says that he is definitely the devil. You should never. Megan said you should never stop caring for yourself, married or not. Very, very true. I don't think that there was a comfort level thing here. I think it was love. That's what she thought it was. And for real, she might have loved him. We don't know.
No, we don't know. I think that the taking care of yourself part is more so women typically desire a partner. And that's just in general, a partner in life to do life with. Actually, God created us for community, which is why we have that desire. That's not a desire that you just, it's cultivated, it's in us. That's how we've been created. We're supposed to be in community, whether that's with one person, whether that's with 5 women, 6, having best friends, whatever the case is, you are made to be in partnership with someone. So yeah, she wanted to be married. God does give discernment, but she didn't have it, Megan. She didn't have it. She didn't have it there.
Well. She was vulnerable and he was heavy on his finesse, took advantage because he was able to capitalize. She caught on and paid the price of embarrassment. Playing with peace is no game. It's selfish.
Well said, I guess.
No, he's right. I think but she paid the price of embarrassment. But I think in this case, she should have. I think that the story that she's told has opened up many people's eyes. So I think you were telling me how there was one lady, or was it a comment or something that you read, and somebody was like, now they look at their husband differently.
Yeah, that's how I found it. That's how I found the story. It's a lady, like a comedian, and she came in on the video and she's like, I need your social security number. I want pictures of you when you was a child, and I need pictures of you with your brothers, your sisters. I need all the things, because people are like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You could be anybody. Can you imagine she was sleeping next to this man? I was away at a new hire orientation in a hotel I was not familiar with, could not sleep because I was scared of Legion.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, but that's, if you really truly think about it, that's every relationship that doesn't go well. You
After
really sit back and
after
you
the fact.
afterwards. You sit back and you think about like the things that you believed in, the things that you did, the moments that you've had, and you're like, I was sleeping next to a stranger.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's so scary. This
Yeah.
dating is not for the weak.
And I mean, I think like from a wider standpoint, I want to just say relationships. It's date. I mean, it's marriage, divorce, separation, dating someone, being in a partnership, dating exclusively, however many ways you want to flip it and turn it. You just have to be careful, right? I mean, in her case, she wasn't financially hit. And I think that's a good thing. She didn't spend any money. He was the one doing all the
Exactly.
spending of the money. I don't know who money he was spending. For all we know, it was another woman's money that he was spending because he had two wives. He said he had one ex-wife, and then he ended up having another one. So we don't know whose money he was spending, and we
I
don't
think
know.
he had a job. I believe he worked at a construction company for a few times. He got a paycheck from that. I think he always keeps a job. However, it's just not the job he says he has.
How many times have we found out family secrets only after something happens to us? Prime example, a family alone, the black family of almost every black family has a secret that they plan on taking to the grave, specifically older generations, because I think we're a little bit more open now. And Megan said being married is not for the weak either, and I agree with
So
that.
we
So
just
I
know we
think
can't win. You can't win if you marry. You can't win if you're
you
single.
can't. Yeah, I mean, there was a time in which I was married, and where I thought, like, damn, who I'm married to? Like, you don't see this person as the same person. Like you said, people change, and you look and you're like, damn, I don't know this person anymore. And I think that's big, and that's years of trust and investment.
But at
This
least
was
you knew the
months.
person at one point. Now she didn't know this
But
man.
then that opens up the question: did you know them,
Well, I don't know. It just depends
or
on
did they have on their interview outfit?
for how many years.
I mean, for how many worked for them?
You can only keep up with that for so much, which is why I'm
Mm.
exhausted after 8 hours of work and being on camera in a meeting because I'm smiling and doing all this
Yeah.
because I'm faking it till I can make it until Friday.
Yeah, I get that.
So you can't keep that up, but for so long, eventually it's going to wear you down, which I think is what happened to him.
Yes. And like Megan said, you said it, we are constantly evolving. I think that's just important to remember is that we're constantly evolving. So you have to keep that extra eye open. And you should question things. You don't have to question the man. I ain't telling y'all to go question him, give him 9 million questions. Just keep it in the back of your head.
I mean, you
Like,
might want to.
I mean, I don't think sometimes you don't have to do all that. You know the answer. You should not have to ask no man 9 million questions.
You need to ask as many questions as you can before you go down the aisle. I would prefer you to lie to me than me not ask the questions. Because then I can say I did my part.
I'm not saying not answer the question. I not ask questions. I'm just saying that it should not be a repetitive thing. I asked you not.
Said they don't like questions. I think there are fun ways to do questions, guys. Okay,
men. I'm here to say, men do not.
I have a jar and I have questions. We drag it. We at dinner. We do that. Yes, and then you can slide some questions in that you really want to find out the answer to, and you're too afraid to ask. But it's a game. We just pulling questions.
Well, you're sitting there hoping that he pulls the right question.
At one point, now I will say, I've even told him this. I said, that question's too soon to ask. Put that in there. It's not time for that yet.
Take it back. Discernment. Well, this was good, guys. Anybody have anything else before we wrap this baby up?
Anita says she gets called nosy. I feel like that's another podcast, Anita. Another episode. Maybe you can come on and tell us about that.
We probably need to do a girls' night. We haven't done a girls' night in a while.
Well, I think that'll be the next show. Anita, are you willing to come on and do a girls' night with us? Anyone else?
Would be good too.
Lawanda, if you are willing, if you could please send your availability over to Tasha, Anita, and Lawanda. Megan, I just called you out. I'm not sure if you're willing, but if you are, send your availability for the next 2 weeks, please.
I don't know if Toya Mitchell is still up here, but Toya, you've been a rider.
Toya Mitchell. I saw Latoya Whitehead.
I know Latoya Mitchell was up here a minute ago, but if Latoya, if you are watching, You have been a ride or die. I don't know if you're interested in being
Yes.
on, but you have really rode with us heavy, so we appreciate it. Before we go, we should say happy birthday to our mother. She turns 21 in a few hours. So definitely everybody blow up the comments for Wanda. She's in the comments somewhere on YouTube. So make sure you say happy birthday to our mom. And we don't know when we coming back, to be honest. I know people ask us all the time.
Not right. That's not right. We have to try to be a little bit more consistent, guys. And
Yeah,
that's
we're
just
working
all
on
to
it.
it.
We're working on it. This would definitely be this seems to be a good day. This 8 o'clock was a little late for me. I started getting a little sleepy, to be very honest. But Tuesday seems to be a good day. So maybe we'll be back in a few weeks. Next week seems too soon. but we'll be ready maybe in a few weeks, and maybe with a girls' night. I think that'll be fun. And if there's any guys watching, we're always willing to throw a guys panel together. But for some reason,
No guys gonna wanna.
men shy away from our guys panel. I don't know if y'all don't want to mess up stuff at home, and I feel you because home is good over here, so I don't want to mess up your home. But
How
it's
can I
not gonna
mess
be
up home? I don't understand that.
men don't want to talk about like relationships or how they feel. I think because they don't want to talk about like their real, like how they feel for real. You see how Dion was able to jump in here and like say how
But
he
Dion is
feels?
real, apparently. So the rest of
Yeah.
these men are scam artists to their wives or legions because they're not being truthful to who they are. Is that what you're saying?
My sister's word of the day is
A
scam
scam
artist,
artist? I use that on a weekly basis. I'm in Atlanta. It's
apparently.
the land of scams.
Well, so yeah. If you guys have any ideas, please let us know. We here and we willing. Danielle, you want to wrap us up?
Sure. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. As usual, we would love for you to share the video. That is actually what drives us to come back, is the views. And it's like affirmations for us. So if you're able to share, comment, like, all the things, please do it, because typically one or the other are not going to want to come back if ain't nobody sharing.
And I will say that at least 4 people off of this that's been in the comments shared our post today and yesterday. So we appreciate it. Something I would like to kind of drop in here for my entrepreneurs. I said this on my post a couple of days ago, but don't be afraid to share your friends' events, sales, services, etc., because it makes a world of difference. So if I can tell you anything, I'm giving you any nuggets other than the fact that you should stay away from a legion, I say share your people stuff. It's absolutely free. There's room for us all to eat, and it costs nothing.
Yep. And in your downtime or while you're at work or doing all the things, you can find us in all, what, Tasha? Apple, Spotify, all the things. So we are,
Google.
I know I'm going to say it, we are like the grocery store. We are on the outside. We're on all the apples, pears, and tangerines. Okay?
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, cardiovascular health. We're there.
You name it, we're there.
Name it, we're here for you.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
So with that being said, hopefully we will be back before you know it. And until then, feel free to replay and let it play in the background.
There's a man that said he'll do it. I'm sorry.
Well,
this is
I don't have your contact information, sir.
I know who he is.
Okay, if you could please contact Tasha with your availability for the month of March. Thank you. Okay, that's it, y'all.
Wrap this thing up, B. Bye, y'all.
Oh, I can't find it. I'm just not together. Bye, y'all.
Wait, before we haven't told them to pour into others and pour into us.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming tonight. See, I'm all off. This is what happens when you're not consistent. Thank you for coming. Thank you for allowing us to pour into you. Hopefully this week you will be able to go out and pour into others. Be the light in the world, guys. Love ya.
Bye y'all.